I'm annoyed with myself. Why, you ask? I reread a Brandon Sanderson book and I should not have fucking done it. Why? Well, this book, Fire Empire, Mistborn, book 1, not rereadable. Not rereadable. Honest to God, I was reading most of this and I was like, oh, I want to put it down. I want to DNF it. But I was like, it's Brandon Sanderson. Why? And it wasn't my mood because I needed something that was familiar. And I started off liking it, got to the middle chunk and was like, fucking hell, I was bogging this down. And then obviously I was like, yeah, cool. Like the ending, okay? It's Brandon Sanderson. I'm going to like the ending. But my God, why, oh why, does this book feel like I'm sitting in a lecture? I know Brandon Sanderson's a teacher. I've watched his lectures. They are more interesting than watching Vin learning the fucking magic system. Oh my God. That was my main issue with this, is Vin follows and goes to different people to learn the magic system, but instead of it kind of Sanderson showing us how it worked as Vin did stuff, it was sitting Vin down. This is how you do it. This is my recommend. And like, they were doing stuff at the same time, but I was also like, fucking hell, can we hurry this on? Like, I swear, if you scrapped all of that, this would be a 6-star read for me. But I'm reading this, I'm like, it's fucking 2 stars. Like, literally, I want to remove my rating to 2 stars. On a first read, totally get it. Magic system, it's new, it's inventive. You're learning more stuff. And you're like, cool. It's fun. But then you get a reread. You know the magic system. I've read most of the rest of the Cosmere, apart from Elantris, really. I've read Era 2, which is far more entertaining. I prefer this to Era 1. I'm not gonna lie. Is it because it's shorter? Entirely could be. I never thought I'd say this. I think Stormlight is the perfect length. Mistborn, this book, shorter. Cut it 200 pages. My opinion. But I already know the magic system. Magic system is basically you can ingest certain metals, and if you're a Mistborn, you can burn all of the metals, and each metal gives you a different power. If you're just a misting, you only have access to one of the metals. That's the magic system. Why the fuck did I need to sit through 11 lectures learning this? I got it from the first point. That bogged it down. That really bogged it down for me, and I'm really annoyed because when I first read this, I will admit, DNF'd it because of Michael Kramer. I'm not a fan of his narration. I know people love him, me not so much. When I read Stormlight, came back and then picked this up, I will read, and it was entertaining. You can read the Final Empire as just on its own. You can, and I think on the first read people will really enjoy it. Do I recommend you reread it? No, I fucking don't. Because some books are just not rereadable. Some books you can reread again and again and again, and you can learn more and more and more. Not necessarily from Mistborn. Like Stormlight, the way he shows the magic system in Stormlight, I find I care a lot more about the characters in that sense. And the way he reveals how the magic system works, it's not like you're sitting on a lecture. It's they're discovering it as they go along because they've forgotten how to use the magic. That kind of thing. That was entertaining. I love that. And that is a favourite trope. I love the fact when the magic has disappeared and it starts coming back. I love that trope. But, oh my God, it just bogged it down so much. And I almost wish I'd picked something else now. So, Mistborn is a really good entry to fantasy. There is a critique on this. It was published in like 2006. Is the only real woman is Vin. It's a problem. Sanderson changes that as he goes through his works. He does change, but that is an issue. So it's fine. But this is a heist book, and you are regathering the team to take on this heist on a little ruler who is basically the Dark Lord, but he won, okay? And there's something hidden, like a reveal at the end of this book that leads into what the actual series is about. But you can leave it on this if you just want like a standalone book. You can. And if you're not completely sold on book 1, my advice would be leave it there. I loved book 3 when I read it. I am going to force myself to reread the series because I want to know if by the time I get to book 3, I would have the same sort of opinion, right? Because previously I didn't really like book 2 of Mistborn. I didn't really like book 2. But I'm now thinking, have my taste changed? Because I'm not really a fan of like gathering the team for this particular heist. Because on top of Vin learning how to use the mouse system from these fucking lectures, this book also has a planning with each team, okay? So you know what's happening because of things. And I think it's like Ocean 11. I've never seen it, so I can't. I think that's what Sanderson has said about this book. But that's kind of the vibe that's going on. And I've never really been a big fan of that kind of style of heist. It's never really been me. I don't really want to know all the plans before they go into it, and then the plan to fall apart, because it's always going to fall apart. I'd rather just kind of like, okay, you've gathered your team, now enact the plan, whereas a lot of the plan is infiltrating and spying, and I just wasn't a fan of that. I did enjoy Vin and Elend. I do not get the hate. I adore fucking Elend. Elend is there. Elend is there. If you don't know who Elend is, he is a aristocrat. Probably saying that wrong. We're going to move past that. Of one of the houses. And he has a good heart in his place. He literally, and this is not the only reason why I love him, although it's probably part of it, when Vin meets him, he's literally sitting in an alcove and reading. And the second time she meets him, he comes and sits at her table, uninvited, with a stack of books to just read. And I just love them. But the text he's reading, they're things that are kind of banned by the Lord Ruler. So he's sort of tying the line a little bit. And he likes philosophy, and he'd like to change the regime, but he's not thinking it like how a Scar would, which is Vin, which is like a peasant person who are treated absolutely poorly. He's, thinking, oh, we'll keep the Lord Ruler, but we need to change some things. And it's like, that's kind of not how it works, necessarily. Like, the revolution that's going on here, that's not going to work. So, I like Elend. Kelsier really pulled this book through. I don't understand how people can think that Kelsier and Vin that Sanderson was insinuating they'd be in a relationship. It's not. It's definitely father-daughter. They're not father-daughter, but there's that kind of relationship going on. And he's the one who's behind all of this. He's the one who's wanting and driving the revolution, and everything that's going on top of that's all Kelsier. He is charming. He is his passion and his determination to see the Lord Ruler brought down, because he wants to bring the Scar peasant people up and have them be not how they've been treated. They get beatings every day. If somebody happens to sleep with a Scar woman, they have to basically kill them, because they don't want to risk. When I say people, I mean Lord people, because they tend to, that's where like the magic system tends to run through, is for the Lords. So they have to kill them because they don't want the Scar people to have any kind of power, like the Mistings. Like, the Scar people shouldn't have them, but they do. There are things that run through. And something else that was really fascinating, and I really wish we knew more about, and I think we do, from memory we learn more about, but I can't really tell you what I know, because the spoilers, is the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors. They're the guys with spikes in their eyes. If you read Wind and Truth and haven't read this yet, read this and you'll know about the fucking spikes. Because, spikes. Marsh is just fucking incredible. He's Kelsey's brother. What happened and how the Inquisitors work, how everything goes. I'd want to know more about that. I kind of wish we had a bit of a Marsh POV. Words. I kind of wish we had a Marsh POV through this. So take away the Vin learning magic and just have Marsh as a POV. It's just a couple of chapters of him infiltrating the Inquisitors and learning more and being like, what's it? Like, that would kind of raise attention for me. That's just my personal opinion. But unfortunately, it's 2 stars for me for this. I know I don't usually say what my rating is, but it just bogged it down. And like when I first read it, I enjoyed it a hell of a lot. So I do recommend you all give it a try. But I don't know if I'd recommend if you would reread this. Just because learning the magic system is just so fucking boring. And its magic system, who would have thought that'd be boring? Not me. But I did enjoy it on the first read. So take this review with a pinch of salt, because I do like Sanderson. I've never really liked Mistborn as much as I've liked Stormlight. And again, I prefer Era 2 to Era 1. I know not a lot of people agree on this, and I would never thought I'd be a Western person, but I enjoyed Era 2 a hell of a lot more. The character is more on point. So you can definitely see from reading this book to Sanderson's other books how the characters are more developed on the page, how they stand out a lot more. But stay tuned for the rest of the series as I read through Mistborn for the second time. Second time? Third time? Fourth time? I've forgotten how many times have we read this book now. And I'm hoping, from remembering what happens in book 2 and book 3, it's not going to taint my kind of feeling on this series. But let me know. Have you read Mistborn? Did you like it? Would you reread it? Do you disagree with me? Feel free. We'll have a discussion down below. I will see you in the next one.